Everybody. I am here live today with Becky Goldsmith talking about her brand new class. Welcome.
Welcome to me too. Thank you. I thought you were going to say welcome to the North Pole, and I was going to say, yeah, that's
it. The class is available through Creative Spark, and the link is now in chat for anyone who wants to check that out while we're talking. Cool. So, Becky, do you want to say anything about the class or about?
I can say so much. I can. All right. So, welcome to the North Pole is this. It's based on this book. The class is based on this book, and it is a book that Linda and I published with that patchwork place in 1997. And it's been in continuous print since then. And when we first did the book, there wasn't an internet. Shoot, there wasn't even digital photography. There was none of the stuff that there is now was then. And with the advent of Creative Spark and the other classes I've done, it occurred to me a few months ago that it would be really great to do a class based on the techniques in this book, because it's hand applique, it's needle turn hand applique. And while I have seen beginners make it successfully, and I would encourage you, if you're a beginner and you want to make this quilt, go ahead, knock yourself out. It'll be great. But there are techniques in this quilt that are a little bit off the beaten track, and that's what's in this class.
Is all those little things you could never learn from a book, the visual.
Well, yeah, and especially because the book was published in 97, and what you put into a book then is different from what you put into a book now. There's just not that many techniques inside the book. It's more minimal, and there wasn't a lot of interior photography. So the class allows me to teach not just basic needle turn hand applique, which is in there, but how to sew things together off the block, and how to do cutaway applique, and how to do little tiny things. And there's just a lot of there in the class.
There's so much detail. It's just amazing to think of how many tiny little things are in this quilt.
Yeah, there are lots and lots of little tiny pieces. And I do want to be sure to say, because a lot of people have this book already, and the book is not available as an ebook. There is no ebook of this. So if you sign up for the class, the book is not in the class. The book has to be purchased separately, or you get it off your shelf if you already own it. There is a table runner pattern in the book, in the class, that goes along with it. It's a digital pattern, but just to be clear, that the book is separate.
But it is available in your store and on Amazon.
Oh yeah. I sell it. You can find it on Amazon. The book has been out for so many years. It's definitely around and still available new.
And since the class doesn't expire too, people can pick it up, and as Christmas starts getting closer, they can work on it a little bit at a time. And
oh yeah. The beautiful part about this, and those of you who are interested in the class, you can search around online. You know how we do. Then you can go on Pinterest, and so many people have made not just this quilt, but they've made all kinds of things with motifs from the quilt on it. That, number one, I know people have been very successful making these blocks in the past, but you'll see all kinds of ideas. So you might want to make a big quilt. You might want to do a table runner. You might want to do a tree skirt. It's a very adaptable pattern. And the class teaches you the techniques that that will help you make whatever it is you want to make. Yes, somebody asked, are there left-handed videos? Yes, indeed there are.
That's amazing.
I know, it's the magic of technology, right? I just have to go in and click all the right little buttons, and it takes my right-handed self to my left-handed self. And so, yes. And if you are left-handed, I know that is so helpful, because, I don't know how left-handed stitchers manage to switch those in their mind. I'm
learning everything backwards.
Yeah, I don't even know how that works. So yeah, yes, left-handed videos. Anywhere you see me stitching, you will see you'll see it left-handed. Let me
And
see,
do you
is there
want to tell
any?
a little bit about the history of the quilt? Because it's so beautiful and just amazing to look at. There's so much detail to it. There's just got to be some story behind it.
Well, in 97, Linda and I were only like 2 or 3 years into Piece of Cake. And this was maybe our first Christmas quilt. I don't remember one before this. And it was the first book we published with that patchwork place back in the day. And Linda and I both really enjoy decorating for Christmas. And I used to collect, I still have them, those ceramic houses from Department
Love
56.
those.
They're so cute. And I wanted to make a quilt that kind of went with the houses, that had a house theme. And so that's where the idea came from. And honestly, I have been surprised at the longevity of this pattern. But what makes it wonderful is that it is so adaptable. It's so easy to dress it up for yourself. Now, I want to tell you, the quilt behind me is not the quilt I made. The one I made is this quilt, which looks just the same but different. That's the quilt my mother made. When she was in her very late 70s, she moved to Sherman, where I live, and she said, I want to make a North Pole quilt. And mom was beginning to have double vision, and she numb fingers, the whole thing. And I said, but mom, would you like me to enlarge the patterns and make it easier? She said, no, no, no. I'm going to make it just like yours.
Wow.
And I know. And, it was so much fun. I'd take down fabric and I'd take down stuff, but she did not want me to help her at all. She said, you just go off there. I'm making this quilt by myself. And darned if she didn't. And
Stunning. It's
well,
so beautiful.
She cracked me up. She truly did, because where I would put 1 or 2 sequins, mom would put 100. And she just lived outside the whole box. The box is, she just stomped on it and lived outside of it. And I learned so much from watching my mom make the quilt. I learned that, perfection is not everything, because mom's quilt is so not perfectly stitched. But you know what? I have come to understand that if all the pieces stay on the quilt, that's a win. I mean, that's, really, you can make it perfect, but if everything stays put, okay, good enough. And she had so much fun, and she got so much joy from making it, that I really did. Mom taught me, perfection is great, but fun is better. And this is an heirloom. And my daughter-in-law, Lorna, who's married to my older son, she claimed my mother's quilt, and it hangs in her house, and it's better than mine. I like it better. So anyway, that's why it's hanging behind me.
Little imperfections give it so much quality and so much character that you just feel the person who made them in every little piece of it. And
Absolutely.
With this class, there's this amazing chance for other people to work with family members, older and younger, to make these heirloom pieces that are going to be part of the family forever.
It's absolutely true. And the other thing about this, and it's true with my other, I have another Christmas quilt on Creative Spark called Birds in Toyland, which I wish mom was alive to have made, because she would have done a really cute one. Anyway, the thing about these kinds of quilts is that you don't ever have to stop embellishing them. Like if I wanted to, I could go back and add embellishments to my own quilt, and someday I might, who knows. But you can, as say new grandbabies are born, you can go in and add more to it, which is fun.
Especially when multiple hands have added to it over the years, you get something that's really imbued with the spirit of the family. It's just really
absolutely beautiful. Yeah. So I can't think what other stories that are there to go with it. I'm sure there are some, but that's what I remember.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that. This class looks incredible. And you said for beginners to maybe a advanced beginner.
Yeah, I often say confident beginners. But it's like my mom. I hesitate to say a true beginner couldn't do it across the board with any applique, because when you, as a beginner, are excited by a pattern and that is the thing you want to make, well, just do it. Just make it. And if your skills get better as you are making that quilt, it becomes a wonderful track of where you were to where you end up. So, yeah, the main thing is if everything stays attached to the quilt, you're good, I think.
Well, thank you so much for being here today. And anyone who's interested, the link to the class is in the chat. And for all of the Creative Spark classes, they're all available on Creative Spark. Becky has several with us. And thank you so much for being here today, Becky.
Thank you for having me, Jessica. You have a good day. And everybody, I hope you continue to have many happy stitches.